What is up, guys? Today I have a Tower of Fantasy video, and in today's video I want to compare it to Genshin Impact. It's already getting a lot of comparisons to Genshin. I just want to go over some topics of the game, say what Genshin does, and then what Tower of Fantasy does, and then give my opinion on them. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the combat. Now, Tower of Fantasy, you only play as one character, and you get 3 weapons. Also, that one character can either be your created character or a character that you summoned, and you get 3 weapons, and then the one weapon that you are using, you obviously use that, and then the 2 weapons that you're not using have a charge up meter. I don't know if it's charged up over time in combat or if it's charged up like depending on how much damage you're doing, but either way, once when it fills up, you select one of those weapons and you kind of have like a special attack that does a lot of damage. Not both, you can't use both the weapons for a special attack. You can only use one. So once when you use one, both of those charges go away and it resets, and then once when it fills up, you can switch back to whatever weapon you want and it'll do another special attack. Now in Genshin, you have 4 characters, or at least most people use 4 characters, and each character has a different weapon and a element of whatever, like fire or ice, whatever, and some characters complement each other well, some not so much. In my opinion, I'm not gonna grade this too harshly because Tower of Fantasy is only in the beta and we're not really far into the game, but in my opinion, Genshin has a lot more satisfying of a combat system. That's just my opinion. Also, it's way more grindy. In my opinion, it's probably going to be more grindy because I don't think Tower of Fantasy has like a bunch of artifacts that you need to grind for. And then Genshin, you have artifacts that also have substats, and then your odds at getting a good substat are low, and then your odds of leveling it up with the good substats are even lower. So I think Genshin is a lot more grindy, but I think is a lot more satisfying landing like big hits and stuff. But obviously I can't really say too much about Tower of Fantasy because it's still early in the game and we don't really know what the end game for the combat is going to look like. But Tower of Fantasy does have a PvP, so there's actually going to kind of be more of a point in having a good account, because in Genshin, outside of Spiral Abyss, there isn't really a point in making like the meta builds. It doesn't really matter too much. The game is also just really easy in general, so you don't really need to follow the meta that much. And outside of Spiral Abyss, there isn't really a point in having like good builds. There is no PvP or like any other events that really matter about your build. Obviously, if you have like really good builds, you can just knock bosses out in seconds and stuff, but like it doesn't really matter. The next thing that I want to talk about is the summoning. Now, we all know Genshin's summoning is terrible. It's so bad they have to have a pity, and most players just, when they save up to summon for a character, they save up the 90, and then if they haven't lost a 50-50 in their last like 5-star, then you have to save up another 90 just to guarantee yourself the one character that you want. For example, I want Kazuha. I have to save up 90 Primo Gems, or not 90 Primo Gems, 90 Fates, just to guarantee myself him. And obviously I can pull him sooner, but like the odds at me getting him before 90 are so bad that you kind of just have to play until you have 90 summons. Obviously, like all gacha games have like low odds, but Genshin's odds are ridiculously bad, and the pity kind of saves it, and it kind of just doesn't make the whole gacha aspect even exciting, because you're just kind of like, oh, there's my 90, I'm guaranteed a 5-star. Obviously, having a pity is good with how bad their odds are, but with the odds being that low, it's just kind of frustrating. And in this game, it looks like the odds are way better than Genshin. Looks like it's a lot more player friendly, and I think that's going to lead to a lot less players being frustrated with the game. Unlike Genshin, it's kind of frustrating at times when you're not getting the characters that you want, or when you're a free to play and you don't have that much time to play, and you're not able to save up as much primo gems as somebody that plays like a couple hours a day and spends a little money. This game, obviously, you can spend money, but it's not like, I don't think it's going to be as frustrating for the gacha in this game than it is in Genshin. Now, Genshin is such a big game that I don't think any game can actually like overtake Genshin in terms of popularity. No matter how good the game is, I don't think they can just strip Genshin of what it has. The only thing that can do that is Genshin itself. If they keep just doing the bare minimum on each update and like making disappointing reruns or disappointing new characters and just kind of just doing the bare minimum and not really listening to what players want, I think they'll lose a lot of players, especially with this game coming out. It's free to play, just like Genshin. So I think that'll actually like give a lot of players like kind of more of a reason to at least give the game a try. I do think even if you're not frustrated with Genshin, I think you should actually just give the game a try, just because you don't always need to play Genshin. It's not like you're playing Genshin for hours and hours and hours. You're kind of limited with the game unless you pay for resin or you still have a lot of story to do. But if you're free to play, or at least maybe you only spend a little bit of money, you can't really just play the game all day or play it for hours because you have limited resin and stuff, so you can't grind it for hours every day. So you can't start playing Tower of Fantasy. Now, that doesn't really answer the question on whether or not this game will be better than Genshin. And to be honest, only time will tell. We can't really know for sure if this game is going to be better than Genshin, just because this is a closed beta, so we don't know the full potential of the game. But the game does have potential to be better than Genshin. I don't think it can be more popular than it. That's highly unlikely. But I do think this game does have potential to be better than Genshin, just because it's got more going on for it for people that are far into the game and don't really have much to do. Like, for example, PvP. I think PvP is actually like a really important thing to have for games like this, and they do have it, so I think that's pretty important for like end game players. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think Tower of Fantasy is going to be better than Genshin? I do think a lot of us, it's too early to tell. Even the people that have put a lot of hours into the closed beta, I do think it's a little too early to make that decision yet, but we'll see when the game fully releases. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. It'll help out my channel a ton. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more Tower of Fantasy and Genshin content. I do plan on uploading both. Hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video.